it's me, Riverso. Waha!
And welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Go! Yaha!
Hey guys, Reversal here, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Go. Today, we got the release of 8 new regular raid bosses in Pokemon Go and 2 new legendaries. The 2 new legendaries, of course, are going to be here for a really long time. Latios and Latias, 2 of my favorite Pokemon in the game of all time. So we're going to talk about them a little bit later. I first want to dedicate some time here to talk about the regular raid bosses. We got a lot of information to cover right here. We got 8 new raid bosses in the game. So let's go ahead and take a look. So for every single level, we got 2 new raid bosses. For level 1, real easy to defeat, we got Shuppet and Duskull. 2 of the ghost type Pokemon, which is pretty interesting for the quest of Mew, because at a certain point, you need to catch yourself 10 ghost Pokemon. During the evening, it's a little bit easier than during the day. On top of that, these Pokemon can become a shiny, and also Duskull can evolve into Dusknoir in Gen 4. That Pokemon is really defensive, but it's in no way, shape or form a really good Pokemon. It might just be a little bit annoying whenever you are having it in the gym and you're attacking against it, but that's pretty much all that Pokemon has. For level 2, we got Sneasel and Misdreavus. Misdreavus is a ghost type Pokemon. It evolves into Mismagius, which is a ghost type Pokemon as well. So that might be interesting for your Mew quest. Other than that, that Pokemon really doesn't offer anything in terms of strength, in terms of power. It's kind of one of those weaker evolves that, you know, kind of looks cool, but that's all there is to it. But Sneasel, on the other hand, is really weak right now in the game, but evolves into Weavile in Gen 4, a dark ice type Pokemon. And this Pokemon is pretty powerful. It is on par with certain legendaries in terms of raw strength, but it's incredibly squishy. So you might want to, you know, invest in this Pokemon. It is an ice type. It can also be a dark type. It's a pretty interesting Pokemon. Other than that, nothing really else to it. It also looks really cool, by the way. So you might want to invest in this Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys will. Level 3 is weird. Pinsir and Granbull. You can solo them. Like, Pinsir is real easy. Fire type Pokemon like Moltres, Entei, Flareon, all of them Pokemon, you can already use them. Granbull's a little bit tougher. It has that fairy typing, so use a steel type attacker like Metagross, Scizor, you can all use against it. You can still solo it. It's going to be a little bit more harder defensively in order to take down Granbull. So, but they're really underwhelming. I don't really see why they decided to place these Pokemon in. Pinsir could be a decent bug type attacker, by the way, for the record. But other than that, they're not really that interesting, I'm afraid. And then for level 4, we got 2 pretty interesting Pokemon. Walrein, which is a stronger version of Lapras, I feel, does more damage, has less stamina, but yeah, I prefer attack a little bit more. It is still incredibly bulky regardless, so yeah, Walrein definitely a good Pokemon for sure. Houndoom is really interesting. I feel a really underrated Pokemon because it's kind of like a glass cannon. It does a lot of damage, dies relatively quickly. For both of these Pokemon, you can use Machamp in order to take them down. For Houndoom, you can also use Kyogre, which is going to be doing more damage than a Machamp. Walrein, you will not have the capability because it's so bulky to 2-man it. You can definitely use 3 people to take it down. You still need your Machamps and so on and so forth. So Walrein is definitely a tough one. Houndoom, potentially a 2-manner for sure. I really want to try and see how far I can go if I solo Houndoom, and I'll report in and show you guys how well I did with my 6 Machamps, which are maxed out, and they almost all have 15 attacks. So I'll definitely post it onto the channel in the nearby future. So these are the 8 new Pokemon that have been released in raids, and of course you guys are curious what other Pokemon are still there in Pokemon Go. For level 1, we got Swablu, Magikarp, and Snorunt. They're still there. Level 2, Mawile, Sableye, and Executor. For level 3, we got Gengar, Machamp, Piloswine, and Jinx, all incredibly useful Pokemon for sure. And in level 4, we got Tyranitar, Aggron, and Absol. So I kind of feel that regardless of what happens, all of the ones that are available as a shiny, like Mawile, Sableye, and Absol, I believe those will stay forever, regardless of what happens, and then they're gonna cycle out other Pokemon as well. But it's pretty interesting. The choice of these Pokemon, not really sure how to feel about them. I can definitely understand Duskull, Shuppet, and Misdreavus. Sneasel's preparation for Gen 4 essentially. Pinsir, decent, like strong bug type attacker, but Granbull, man, I really don't know how to feel about Granbull. Walrein, Houndoom, relevant to the current meta, kind of underdogs in some way, shape or form, but definitely powerful Pokemon for sure. That being said, let's talk about Latios and Latias being released in Pokemon Go. I could not be more excited for this, guys, because these two Pokemon in particular, I consider them one of my favorite, legendary Pokemons ever to be released, period. And for them to be coming to Pokemon Go, I'm incredibly excited about them. Latios and Latias are both Dragon Psychic types. They got 6 weaknesses: Bug type, Dark type, Fairy, Ghost, Ice, and Dragon types. But we're gonna jump into the Pokemon a little bit later and what the difference is between Latios and Latias. I first want to talk about how long they're gonna be here. So today, the 2nd of April, they're gonna be starting. Latias is gonna be in Europe, Asia, and New Zealand and Australia. And then Latios is gonna be in North America, South America, and Africa. Which, they're gonna be there for a long time, guys. They're gonna be there from the 2nd of April until the 8th of May. Which is 36 days, the longest it's ever been, and then they're gonna swap until the 5th of June. So the 8th of May until the 5th of June is 28 days. So the first period is gonna be 36 days, the second period is 28 days, which is quite remarkable. No idea why that is. Maybe like at the ending of the first period, they're both gonna be there. That's just speculation on my part, by the way. But yeah, what are the differences of these Pokemon? There's 2 major differences between Latias and Latios. And that is that Latios is gonna get Solar Beam, while Latios is gonna get Thunder. And the attack power is significantly different. Latios is gonna get 40 more attack than Latias, and Latias is gonna get 40 more defense than Latios. Unfortunately, that means that Latios is clearly the one that is more superior. And if we take a look at the IV CP chart, you can already tell that 100% IV Latios is 2082 CP. 2603 with Weather Boost, of course, and then Latias is 1929, and with Weather Boost is 2412, and the maxed out versions of these is a almost 300 CP difference. So that is definitely like the attack and the defense being swapped around. Latios is simply just a better Pokemon in the game. And then let's jump into what Pokemon you can use during Raid Battle to take down Latios and Latias effectively. So first, for Bug type Pokemon, you basically got Scizor and Heracross, but Heracross is a fighting type. If Latios and Latias has a Psychic type move, your Heracross is gonna get taken down relatively quickly, so Scizor is gonna be the obvious choice there. Tyranitar for Dark type moves, obvious choice. Tyranitar really strong. Can also use Gyarados for that one. Because it's pretty good as well. You gotta be careful with Latias then though, because if it has Thunder, your Gyarados will get roasted. So, don't use Gyarados against Latias. I don't recommend it. For Fairy types, there's not a whole lot of Pokemon to use. There's just one, which is Gardevoir. You're not gonna use a Blissey, aren't you? I mean, Blissey's no good. You gotta be using Gardevoir there. For Ghost type, you got Gengar, but once again, Psychic warning. Latios and Latias are Psychic type, but Gengar does do an incredible amount of damage, but is incredibly squishy. So if they unleash one charge attack, your Gengar is pretty much gone, unless you dodge it, of course. Mewtwo also gets a Ghost type move in Shadow Ball, and that is the strongest Mewtwo DPS moveset. It's actually recommended to use Mewtwo regardless of the amount of damage that Mewtwo is doing, and also being resistant against Latios and Latias is actually quite of a nice option there. For Ice-type Pokemon, my obvious 2 choices are gonna be Articuno and Jinx. Then you got Walrein, which we talked about earlier in this episode, and Lapras, as we talked about as well. So those are your Ice types. Of course, there's gonna be more, but I'm just talking about the ones that are the most like doing damage and survivability, keeping that in mind. And then we got your Dragon types, but once again, disclaimer, Latios and Latias are also Dragon type. They might have Dragon moves, they're actually pretty powerful. Rayquaza, Dragonite, Salamence could be Pokemon you could use against Latios and Latias. So in terms of the amount of people that you need in order to take down these Pokemon, I would say 5-6 people, you can definitely do it. Most people are reasonably leveled at this point, and with the amount of Pokemon that I just named, I think it's definitely going to be possible. It has been done with 3 people already. Shout out to fellow Pokemon Go content creator Poké. I'll leave his video in the description down below. Give him some love, subscribe to him. He's getting closer to 100,000 subscribers. It's always amazing to see a Pokemon Go YouTuber, reaching that elusive 100,000 subscriber milestone. So definitely check that out. Maybe in the future we'll get to see it done with 2 people, but I'm hearing some stuff here and there. I'm not sure if it's possible, but I'll keep you guys posted over at my Twitter. So that does it. 8 new raid bosses in Pokemon Go, 2 new legendaries. They're gonna be swapping around. What are my thoughts, opinions? I'm so excited. I'm about to get ready to do the first raid, which is gonna be Latias for me. So make sure you stay tuned. I'll post it up to the channel pretty soon. That being said, just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. And this has been Reversal for Pokemon Go. I'm gonna be signing off, and I'll see you guys back again soon in another video.